Okay, here is my video on pain management with non-pharmacological strategies. So that means not medications. And this is really surrounding the journey I've been on over the last 6 weeks. I'm calling this emotional stress and jaw pain management because I have noticed that my pain tends to flare up when I have either a really sad situation at work or during other scenarios where I find myself being sad, upset, angry, stressed. Um, so, all things that are within my control once I learn how to do that. So, I had a lovely conversation with ChatGPT that I'm going to read some of it just verbatim to. And then I sent this conversation to my therapist and asked her if it was evidence based, asking for modalities on how to manage stress and pain management. And she said that it was and gave me a PowerPoint and a couple other things that I'm working through. So let me share this with you. So this is what I texted ChatGPT. I'm reading off my laptop over here. I said, what's interesting is that my jaw and my Lafort pain is immediately jumping up after these emotional conversations or emotional situations. So, emotional duress makes me hurt. This is good news because it's within my control, but it's bad news because I don't currently know how to control it. And ChatGPT said, why emotional stress triggers your pain? After temporal mandibular joint replacement and a Lafort surgery, your central nervous system is still in a sensitized state. Emotional stress, especially intense empathy or witnessing someone in distress, activates your brain's threat system, which is your amygdala and brainstem. This increases inflammation, triggers shallow breathing and clenched muscles, and sensitizes your trigeminal and vagus nerve networks, especially in your jaw and face. This is a neurological pain flare, not just an in your head, but it is a response to nervous system regulation. So I want to just give you guys freedom right now if you're experiencing similar things. This is a response to nervous system regulation, and it is not something that is outside of our control. So then they went on to give me some short term relief tools. The first one is called vagus nerve breathing, which I did have to ask if this could be done through my mouth if my nose is stuffy from crying. And they said that it can be, but the best way to do this is through your nose. So they want you to inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 2 to 3 seconds, and then exhale slowly for 6 to 8 seconds. And repeat this for 5 rounds. And they said it's optional to purse your lips slightly on the exhale to increase your vagal activation. And so I started noticing if I felt that pressure in my Lafort or if I felt my muscles tightening, I would try to go to the bathroom at work and just really be intentional about my breath work. And I believe the key to this is making sure your exhale is longer than your inhale. And that is what like activates the relaxation of specifically that vagus nerve. Um, the other thing that they said to do was a physical calming technique. So if you put cold washcloth over your cheeks or upper lip, this activates diving reflex, which calms the nerves. I don't know much about that, but on a day that I was having a lot of pain, I did put cold right across right here, and I did notice my pain improve. So, and then the last thing is gentle humming or singing with your lips closed and the tongue on the roof of your mouth. This stimulates the vagus nerve too. I actually went to my Insight Timer meditation app and I typed in the search bar meditation for vagus nerve and then humming. And there were a ton of different meditations that specifically focused on humming and calming your vagus nerve. ChatGPT also recommended grounding self talk, such as saying, this is my body's reacting to stress. It's not permanent. I am safe. I can slow down. It is okay to feel this. My body is safe in this moment. And I think the reason this is important is when I started getting really bad, I got into this anxiety spiral of thinking that I wasn't actually better and things were going to keep getting worse and worse. And this was a fair feeling to have because I was in constant chronic pain for so long. The minute I started having constant pain again, my body jumped back into that headspace. And it was really scary. It was a place that was um, really confining, and being free of that has been so liberating. I feel like for the first time in a long time, my true personality has been able to shine because it's not muddled or grayed or like covered through this lens of trying to push through chronic pain. And so I almost felt like I had to protect, guard, or fight this pain because I was afraid I was going to lose that again and, like, by consequence, lose myself again. And so, reminding my body that this isn't permanent and that I'm safe. And my therapist did tell me, she said to give my body a voice. And I said, well, how do I do that when I know the voice is wrong? For example, I am not going to be like this forever, and I am fixed and I am healed. See, even saying that phrase makes me cry, which means it's powerful and it means something. So if you need to say that phrase to believe it, then say it out loud. And so, anyways, I asked her, how do I listen to my body when it's in an anxiety spiral and I know it's not truth? And she said, well, you know it's not truth. You knew it from the very beginning. So I think my reaction to that was to shut down listening to my body, which is not what I needed at all. She said, allow that anxiety and that fear to sit next to you like a little child and hold it and love it and say, it's okay. You've been through a lot. That is really scary. And going back to that is very anxiety provoking, but that's not where we are. That is a childlike response to a trigger that isn't real. And so I'm really learning to understand my emotions and get curious about them and ask questions instead of shaming them or trying to silence them or make them go away. And so that's where I'm at now. When I start to feel that stress, tension, and anxiety, I say, thank you for protecting something that is so important to me. We have been through a lot, and protecting this healing is very important, but you can't lose that healing through trying to control something that you can't. So, a lot of grounding self talk is really important. And then, longer term strategies to explore. They said to focus on somatic, this is ChatGPT again, focus on somatic tracking or pain reprocessing therapy. So that's what I asked my therapist about today in our session, and she sent me this PowerPoint. That's probably backwards for you guys, so I'll read it to you. But it's using somatic resourcing for grounding, soothing, and containment. This is from the presenter is Lisa Ferencz. It's F as in Frank, EREN as in Nancy, TZ. And so she said to look her up for more information. This was a class that she actually just went to last month, which was really neat, that she was learning about processing energy through your body at the same time that I was learning this. And so she sent me this PowerPoint to look through. It gives you additional tips on how to help energy move through your body. And what they're really discovering in therapy work is that talking through trauma is beneficial, but your body also needs to physically move through trauma. And so there's different ways to do that. The intentional breath work is one of them. Humming is another one. And then there were additional recommendations in this PowerPoint. One of them is called the butterfly tap. And so you literally put your hands like this, like butterfly wings, and tap. And she said through all of these exercises that doing the inhale and exhale is very important. She said you can hug your body. That tight squeeze also helps regulate your nervous system. The next one is, give me just a minute, guys. I don't feel like I'm a master of this yet because I'm learning it right now. But it's too good not to share, so I had to share it anyways. This one is called the brain gym. So they tell you to sit and cross your ankles, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and then put your hands in prayer position. And then slowly make a figure 8 with your hands and follow that figure 8 with your eyes. And then you go the opposite direction. Again, guys, all of this seems so simple, but I think simplicity is actually the answer to a lot of things that we face. For example, good, clean food and simple exercise are so beneficial to health and wellness. There's nothing fancy about it. It all feels almost too good to be true. But try these out, play with them, see if they help you. I would love to hear. I just learned all this today, so I'm also going to be playing with them, but I really wanted to share it right now with you guys. There's also, if you don't like the counting for breath work, another thing that you can do is breathe with your fingers. So inhale, exhale, inhale, can retrace the other direction. Gives you a different visualization of your breath work. The things that I found to be most helpful right now are humming, and then any sort of intentional breath work, especially if it's guided work through my Insight Timer app. I really love that app. It is free, and I can actually put in the comments a couple of my favorite ones that I've found so far. Um, Please let me know what you guys think of these modalities, if any of them have worked for you, if you have any additional ones that you'd like to help me with. I am learning right now too. And I would just love to hear what you guys think of these as you try them out. So keep me posted. I appreciate you guys. Bye.